Hey everyone, welcome to Inside the AI. I'm your host, the Data Doc, and today we're going to be going through this AI chat agent that you can host onto your website. I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide of completing this all the way through and then showing you how to post it to your website. So if I just text the chatbot and tell it, "Hi, how are you doing?" It's going to give me an answer and it's going to say, "Hello, we are doing great. Thank you for asking. How can we assist you today? Are you interested in booking an appointment with us?" And then I can answer back, "Well, what services do you provide?" Put a question mark. And then this is going to, it's already been prepped to answer some of these questions. And it says we specialize in AI consulting and software development. Our services include, and has the list. And then, it asks again, do you want to have a 30-minute appointment? Now I can say yes, and I can tell it I do want an appointment. Let's book the appointment for Friday. Let's see what happens. So, so I just asked it to give me an appointment on Friday. It said, "Great, let's get the appointment scheduled for you. Could you please let me know your preferred time on Friday?" Our business hours, gives our business hours and the time zone. And then it also says, "Could you share what you'd like to discuss at the appointment?" So with this, we can say, schedule an appointment for Friday. It's going to ask me questions. It's already been trained to ask you the right questions. It's going to deconflict and make sure that I do not have any meetings or when is it available. It's going to then answer us a meeting. Your appointment has been successfully scheduled for Friday the 16th at 9. You will be meeting with the co-founders and have a 30-minute meeting. If I go over to my Google Calendar, now I see that right here on my calendar. If you find value in this video, please give me a like and subscribe. And join our school community. I have the link in the description below. This agent has 2 sub agents, which are listed here. It's a contact agent, which captures all of the information and creates your CRM in a Google Sheet. And then this agent here is a calendar agent, which manages your calendar in Google Calendar. You can change this to Google Calendar, Microsoft Calendar, whichever calendar you would like. So if you find value in this video, please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the step-by-step guide of building this agent and the 2 sub agents out. So this is our n8n environment. And as always, the first thing we want to do is change the title. So this is the title of the first agent, the chatbot agent, and it's going to be called AI chatbot. I'm going to put video so I know to delete this. So to do this, you want to type in chat and you have your chat trigger here. Say that 4 times. And so once we're in, you want to open this and make this a publicly available chat. What this is going to do is it's going to allow you to post this into your HTML of your website, and then you can access it. So what we want to do is have this and change it to an embedded chat. And then we want to leave this as none, but we want to add an option. The option we're going to add is allowed origin, CORS. And it's going to give you this as a asterisk, and you want to click another one. So you want to add a field. And the field you're going to use is the respond mode. And the respond mode is going to be when last node finishes, is going to be changed to use respond to a webhook node. This is going to allow you to webhook into a website. So now with this one complete, we have that node completed. That's all we have to do for that. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to build out an if node. The if node is going to give us the option to pass through the right information. This is going to make sure that we have the right information goes through. If someone doesn't type something, it's going to be filtered out. So as long as the chat message is inputted, and we want to change this to exist. So this means if information comes through and it exists, it's going to be passed through. If information does not come through, then it's going to be filtered out. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a webhook to this one. So it's going to be respond to a webhook. And so with this coming in, what we're going to do is we're going to change this respond with to a JSON. And we're going to have this respond with a hey, how are you doing? So this is going to be when someone enters your page, the little chatbot is going to pop up and it's going to say, hey, how are you doing? How can I help? So this is what this is doing. So with this completed, now we have the initial workings of the chatbot. Now we're going to move to our next step. Our next step is actually creating an agent. All right. So now we need an OpenAI agent. Excuse me. Now we're going to go and we're going to click Advanced AI Agent. And we're just going to click AI Agent here. So now with this AI agent, we're going to change the name to a chatbot. Within this, we have the tools trigger. The tool agent is going to stay the same. Instead of it being connected to a chat trigger, we're going to change it to define below. Now, the first prompt is going to be the information that comes from the last node. So it's going to be this expression here, and it's going to be changed to an expression. So now this is complete. Although we're almost done with this node right here, we do need to add one more option. We need to add a system message. So now it's received some information from the user who's asking a question. Now we need to give it a system message and tell it what to do. So what we need to do next is we need to give it a role and an action of what to do, or else it's not going to know. So this is what we're going to do is we're going to paste this in here. I'm going to turn it to an expression to show you what this says. So now, let me clean that up. So now we have the information here. This is all going to be in my school community. So do not try to rewrite this. But if you wanted to, you could. But this is basically going to tell it it's a personal assistant to the data doc and BioTech. You can change this. So this is where you want to change some of the information. This is what you're going to want to change. You can do a control find. You want to change the time zone. So if you're in central time zone or a different time zone, change that to your time zone so it doesn't get conflicted. And then, it has all this information to book out appointments. So this is really the essence of this chatbot. You got the days of your limitations, Saturday and Sundays, no booking. Make sure you have time slots open. Any appointment is only 30 minutes long. And, this is all the information. So I'm going to scroll up. I'm going to let you take a screenshot there. So take a screenshot so that you can rewrite it with ChatGPT. And then I'm going to scroll down. Now you can take a screenshot here. And then all the way to the bottom, you can take another screenshot. So now with this complete, we have our AI agent completed. So now I can exit out of this and I can give myself some space to work. And so now with these chatbots or with any AI agent, you always have to give it memory. So we're going to give it OpenAI memory, and it's going to be on the OpenAI 0.24-8-06. So this is going to be challenging to find. It's right here. So you can change the model to whichever you would like, but that's the model that I use for this. So now with this complete, I'm going to move it out of the way. What you want to do is you want to give it some memory. I'm going to open this up a little bit. Instead of it being 5, I'm going to give it 10 memory because someone's going to ask it a lot of questions and I want it to have the context. So what this is going to do is if it receives 10 messages over and over again, it's going to remember up to 10 of them. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to enter the call an n8n workflow. So now what this is going to do is we're going to title this, and this is going to be called contact agent. So the interesting thing with the name is it cannot have any spaces. So I'm just going to name it that. Then we got to give it a description of what it's going to do. Here's the description. We're telling it to call this tool to update the name, company information, and phone number of any appointments. And so then what we need to do here is we need to go to database and then workflow. And now this is going to have a drop list of every automation we've created. So if I click here, now I have a bunch of automations here. I want to go down to AI assistant agent, not calendar agent. I need the contact agent right here. So now I have that connected, and this node is completed. Now, the next thing we need to do is give it one more to do. We're going to call another n8n workflow. And what this is going to do is this is going to be the calendar booking agent. So now we're going to call it chatbot calendar agent. Again, no spaces on this or it will not take it. If you put a space, it's going to tell it it doesn't work. See how it turned red? So then we're going to give it a description, call this tool for any emails, for any calendar actions, and then we need to choose the right database. So when we go down, we need to choose the AI calendar agent. And now this is completed. Now, the one challenging thing I do want to mention is that you do need to name these properly. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So I always do it this way first. I want to have these here and know that they're there. So now I'm going to open this up and I'm going to take some information from here. So these tools in the middle, we give it the instructions and then we're telling it what tools to call. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the calendar agent. I'm going to copy this and it has to be word for word. So this is why I do it like this. And then I'm going to go to the calendar one I just made and then click rename. Because now this chatbot is going to know to call this. If you don't change the name, it's not going to know which tool to use. So now I'm going to do the same for the other side. Contact agent. Rename this one. And now with this two completed, now this will work properly. The last thing I want to do is I want to tell it to call Tavily. If you don't know what Tavily is, it's a website that allows you to do research. So if someone does have a question that you're not able to answer, this can search the internet and allow it to get you relevant information. So it's not hallucinating. So we're going to do a HTTP request. And with that, what we're going to do is we're going to use this tool to search the internet. So that's the description for this one. We're going to have the URL. The URL is going to be https API tavily.com/search. We don't need an authentication, but we're going to send a body. And we're going to authenticate inside of the body using a JSON. So we need to change this specified field to a JSON below. This is then going to let us do the search. And here is the JSON you need to put into this. So go ahead and I'm going to open this up and let you take a screenshot. And basically you can see what this means. Like you can understand, change your API key here. This is the search term. So when it doesn't understand what to do, this is what the AI is going to put into the search. So if you ask a question of what's going on or what is, when it's not you ask the question, when a customer asks a question about a certain topic, this will be able to retrieve that and it will replace this with the search term. And then the rest just stays the same. So now there's a couple more things we need to do. We need to add a placeholder. So now we have the placeholder complete. We need to place hold with the search term. And then we're going to add one more description. So here's the description: what the user has requested to search for the internet. And then we're going to change this to a string. And this node is completed. The only thing we need to do is rename that. Do not forget to rename those or it will not work. And you're going to only search the ChatGPT model, whichever you selected as the memory. So now I'm taking this and I'm renaming the HTTP node. So now once I click this, I can change this and save it. So now it knows when it receives something to search the internet, it's going to tell ChatGPT the instructions. ChatGPT is going to tell the chatbot which of these three it should use. The last thing we need to do to set this chatbot up is set up a webhook. A webhook is going to be on the, we need to click this plus right here so it knows to add it to the chatbot. So this is going to be the output from any of the information we've just completed. So this is going to be respond to a webhook. So once we do that, this just remains the same. And what this is going to happen is any information we've just completed from the last few nodes, it's going to be passed through and sent to that chatbot on your website. So now with this completed, we can move on to create the contact agent. So now with the first agent completed, what we're going to do is we're going to work on creating this agent right here. This is a multi-agent chatbot. And what this agent does is it reads a Google Sheet and then it updates the Google Sheet. So when an information or an appointment is being made, this agent is going to read the sheet to see if we have that person in our sheets. And if they don't, they're going to update it with the rest of the information so we can build out our CRM. So now with the other agents complete, we're going to move on to the calendar agent. So I'm going to build this calendar agent out, but first I want to describe what it does. It's going to receive the information from the other higher chatbot, and it's going to process that information. It's going to be, that information is going to be sent to ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT is going to follow the rules within the calendar agent to determine which of these nodes it's going to use. It's going to either be able to update an event, delete an event, get an event to give you a summary of it, or create an event. And then it finishes by sending the information up to the chatbot and then rolling up an email to you explaining to you the meeting time and the contents of the meeting, along with a summary of the person you're going to have the meeting for. So it prepares you for this meeting. So now we're going to give you a step-by-step guide of building this out. So to start out, you always want to rename it to calendar agent. We're going to add a node. A node is going to be when executed from another workflow. With this completed, we want to make sure we define and accept all of the data. So accept all data. And then we're going to add an AI agent. This is going to give us the ability to manage our calendars. So this AI agent is going to be defined below, and we're going to pull in the information from the node before. So here is the expression that needs to be in here. And then we need to add an option, which is a system message at the bottom. So this system message is going to be right here. I'm going to copy and paste it in for you. So here is the system message so you can see what it is. You can take a screenshot and you can change this however it would fit best for you. The way I would change it is take this screenshot, feed it into ChatGPT, and then give it the instructions to rewrite this for you. So do not write it yourself. Just ask ChatGPT to do it. Now with this complete, we have the AI model, the AI agent completed. I'm going to move this to the center. we need to give it an OpenAI chat model. So we can leave it as mini. And basically what mini is, it's a lesser reasoning model. So it can complete basic tasks, but it's not an overwhelming information. So there's nothing too complicated that we need anything so advanced. So the first thing we're going to access is our Google Calendar. And the first calendar we're going to get is an update event. We're going to go here and we're going to change it. So when I say here, it's the operations. And we're going to change it to update. And we're going to rename this to update event and rename. Now this is completed. We need to choose our calendar. And then I need to give it an event ID. The event ID is going to come from the it's going to come from the AI. So it's going to come from the AI and it's going to get the event ID. What this means is the information that comes in when we go back out here, what that means is the AI agent's going to process some information. It's going to send it to OpenAI. OpenAI, in the time it's doing, it's going to get an event ID. This node is asking for OpenAI to send them that ID. So that's basically what this is saying. We need to add a field at the bottom, which is an end field. And then we have to add another one, which is an add field or start field, excuse me. The end field is going to be the same thing. It's going to come from OpenAI. And it's going to just say, OpenAI, what is the end time? Basically, we're asking OpenAI for that information. And just like the end time, we need to ask it for the start time. So now we're going to do the same with start time. And now we have the OpenAI completed. What's interesting is these things right here are pretty interesting. These are AI features that's just been added to the n8n. So I'm really interested to see how that works. I've actually tested out a different one at a different time and it worked really well. So I'm actually excited to see how that works. So we're going to go back to calendar and we're going to this time use delete an event. So now this is going to allow it to change an event and not conflict two different times. So now the only thing we need to add to this event ID is the same thing as we did in the past. We're going to ask the OpenAI for the event ID. We do need to change the name of the node to delete event. And again, these names are really important because it tells the agent what to use. So the agent has the names of each node and it needs to know what to pull. So now we're going to go to another calendar. This is going to be pretty repetitive. So please hang in with me or fast forward through this. So this is going to be get many. The operation is going to be get many. And the email calendar is going to be whatever email you want to send this to. Limitation is going to be 50. And now this is going to be a unique expression. You don't want it to be now, but rather you want it to be from AI event ID. The next one is going to be this expression right here. It's going to be the day after the data of the user was provided. So what you don't want to do is book a meeting in 5 minutes when you're not prepared. So, you want to give yourself some time. So basically what this does is it gives you time to be prepared. Now you can change it to modify it to work best for you. So if it's 2 days out or 3 days out to prepare, then you can modify that to work for however it would work best for you. The next event we want to do is create a calendar meeting. So now we go to Google Calendar. We want to keep this as create. And what we're going to do is, again, is put our Gmail there, and then we're going to give it some information. This one, we're going to have to add a few different features to it, but it will all work out in the end. So start date, again, call from OpenAI, start time, call from OpenAI, end time. What changes from this is below it, we need to add a summary. So now what we're going to do is the summary is going to be the title. So we're going to ask OpenAI for the event title. That's what that's saying. And then this node is complete and we need to rename it. So this is going to be renamed to create event. Rename. And we're done. The last node we have is to create. Last node we have is to create an event. And this is going to be a little more detailed. We're going to create and we're going to use our Gmail here. And then again, much like the other one, we're going to add the start time. And then we're going to add the end time. And then we're going to add a few things at the bottom. So the first thing we're going to add is attendee. So the attendee is going to be the email of the person who is attending the meeting. So now we change this to an expression, and now we have the event attendees. The next thing we need to do, you can add as many as you would like, but we don't need to do any more. We're just going to add a summary for this one. So much like the other one, we're going to add the event as the file type. It's going to be coming from OpenAI, and it's going to be an event type, and it's going to be an expression. Now with this complete, we'll move it to the side and make sure you rename these. We're going to end this out and we're going to add a node to the end. This is going to be an edit node and it's going to be an edit fields. So now within this one, we're going to send the response back up to the higher agent. What I mean by that is we're going to take the response and we're going to paste it in here as a response. And then we're going to do the output of the JSON. So here is what we need to put. And what's going to happen is this is going to take the response and it's going to send it back up to the chatbot. At the end of this, we can add our last agent. At the end of this, we can add our last node. Our last node is a Gmail. We're going to send a message. And what this is going to do is it's going to send us an email of a summary of what's happened. So when we do have a meeting, we know we have a meeting tomorrow. It's going to tell us that the meeting has been created. So, it's going to send you have a meeting scheduled. It's going to give you a summary of who it is, what it is, and why you have this meeting. And so now you can be prepared for that meeting. So now with that completed, we need to tie this into our website. So how do we do that? Well, you need to go to your web page that's hosting your website. So if it's WordPress or any of the other hosting sites, go to the page that allows you to insert a custom HTML. And then we're going to go here and I'm going to walk you through this HTML. In my school community, this will be listed in the school community, but you're going to take this HTML and you're going to paste it into that location. And what this is going to do is it's going to be the location of where your chatbot is going to be. So when you go into your page, when a new person accesses your website, this chatbot is going to pop up. So now that you've gone into your HTML custom place for your website and you've pasted this in, the first thing you need to change is this right here, the URL. Where this comes from is inside of your branded AI agent. You want to open up your chat box. And right here, you have your URL. You want to copy this and you want to paste it into there. So I'm going to delete this out. And then what you're going to do is you're going to paste it in. What this is going to do is it's going to open up the chatbot and this is going to redirect any of the information to this n8n workflow. When you go down a few more rows, you want to change your company logo. So you can put your branded company logo. You want to put your name. So this is things you want to modify. This is your name and the company. So this is what's going to pop up. This is what's going to be on the top. So when you have your pop-up block, this is going to come up as your logo in the chatbot. And then this is going to be what the message says. It says, hi, how can I help you? And then it'll wait for a response. Down here is some more locations that you want to edit. This is going to be the color of the primary color of that chatbot, the secondary color. If you want it on the right, you can put right, left, whichever way you want that widget to be at. And then do you want it to be gray? What color do you want the background and the text? So these are things you can Google. You can go into different softwares. You can use OpenAI, ChatGPT to tell it to give you the colors of your branded website. So again, copy this and paste it into the custom website location inside of your website. So there's a page that allows you to paste the HTML into it. This is where this needs to go. So if you found value in this video, please like and subscribe. Comment below and give me some more examples of things you may need. I will create you your own custom AI workflow. Send it to me and I'll create it and I'll post it here on YouTube. Thanks. I'm the Data Doc. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.